Hi, beautiful people. Hope you guys are doing well. I do apologize in advance for my voice. I do have something which I think I picked up from the emergency room when I was there on Mother's Day with my dad. And as soon as I came back, I ended up with something. But I just want to apologize if my voice seems weird. Gypsy Rose continues with her games, since rumors have been circulating that there may be trouble in paradise with her and Ken. So on Monday, she tried to do a little bit of damage control where she made this post of apparently her sitting in Ken's lounge at his house, making as if she is watching a marathon of Twilight. But that may have been bullshit. But first, after the episode aired on Monday with her reality show, she put up this post. Postpartum depression awareness. You are not alone and are doing a good job. She gives a description of what postpartum is, symptoms, and she says, thank you for watching my journey in tonight's episode. So now Gypsy is using postpartum as an excuse for her bad behavior when she herself said not so long ago in her life that she never experienced postpartum.
How am I feeling postpartum? Good. The first few days were a little overwhelming, but Ken was absolutely so supportive. I didn't have postpartum depression.
So there you have it. Gypsy admitting she didn't have postpartum depression. This live was done on January 16th. She also stated how Ken was so supportive. Now, let's refresh our memories. She messaged Ryan on January 14th, 2 days prior to this live, as you heard her saying she did not experience or have postpartum. I do have this live. I will have it linked in the description box if you would like to go and check it out.
But I did go through a little bit of postpartum anxiety, which I think is absolutely, normal for a first-time mom. You look at all the things that could go wrong and it kind of freaks you out. Even when you're in the car, you're like, oh my God, there's cars passing by. Like it's overwhelming a little bit. But I've adjusted, like my hormones have leveled out now. I still have moments of getting emotional, especially, when I look at my little girl, it brings up a lot of emotions about my mother. And it's hard to look at this little innocent baby and know that I was once a little innocent baby. And I don't understand how parents could hurt their kids. I just don't.
This pisses me the fuck off. Dee Dee was absolutely no angel, but Dee Dee loved her child. And at the end of the day, we're only getting Gypsy's side of the story. Gypsy, did Dee Dee leave you at 4 weeks old to go on a date night? Did Dee Dee leave you at 6 weeks to go to a concert? Or what about when you went alone without a newborn baby Aurora to go to California on a press tour? Did Dee Dee ever leave you alone, Gypsy, or ever make you somebody else's responsibility so she could have time for herself? Then the next post she made, she let people know where she bought the onesie for Aurora from. Now back to the post she made trying to fool people that she was at Ken's place watching the Twilight Marathon on Monday. Well, she must have just driven to Ken's place just so she could have some alone time to watch the Twilight Marathon, because the very next day she made this post from her bedroom in Cutoff.
Hi there.
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Good.
Gypsy was never at Ken's place on Monday watching the marathon of Twilight. She was just trying to quieten the rumors of her and Ken having trouble in paradise. And as for this whole bullshit shocked reaction from her, in my opinion, Lifetime just took two different scenes and made them look like one scene. Have you or anybody who's watching this video, have any of you been to a jewelry store with your walls that have whatever signs taped to the wall and have a cheap or sanitizer dispenser attached to the wall. Maybe he was at a pawn shop, who knows? But this is just Lifetime's way of trying to make it seem that Ken is going to propose to Gypsy and to bring in the views and to get people to watch. So I did say that Ken was not with Gypsy on Mother's Day, and lo and behold, Natasha Cooper felt it was such a good idea to release a text message that Ken sent to Christy Blanchard on Mother's Day. To which it says, Happy Mother's Day to my future mother-in-law. Love you, Christy, for all that you are and all that you do for us as a family. You make us strong. I'm happy I can count on you. Love you. Thank you. I love you too. How convenient that this text message, which to me seems so personal, which also includes future mother-in-law, is released when the streets are whispering how Ken and Gypsy are having issues. And also, Lifetime shows Ken apparently going into a jewelry store to shop for a ring. And then Gypsy unfollows Ken. She is manically watching social media to see who is discussing what about the situation. And she probably felt things are getting so intense and then refollows him again. Then she made this post.
Okay, so I have exactly 5 weeks left on parole, and so I went to the store and I got some stuff to start packing my room at my parents' house. Obviously, I'm not going to pack everything because I still have 5 weeks left, but I'm going to pack up some of the stuff that like I don't use on a regular basis, like my winter clothes, things like that. Some of them were as stuffed animals. A lot of the stuff that like it was shown in the show that like I have 2 nurseries. So I have the one at my parents' house and then I have the one at Ken's house. So I boxed a lot of like the stuff, like stuffed animals, toys, clothes that she hasn't grown into yet, diapers that are like size 3 and 4. So I'm just kind of boxing up the stuff that I'm not going to use right now. I have a lot of clothes, like a lot of clothes. So that is my project for right now. And I'm probably just going to put a lot of this stuff in the corner right now until it comes time to move. But yeah, this is quite a project. But it'll at least make the transition more easier. That way I can just get my dad to get his truck and move some stuff that way. So that's my task for right now. If anybody wanted to know what my closet looks like, this is it. Yeah, it's very messy.
So my question is, was this decision to start packing now after she begged Ken to forgive her? And the reason I say that is because she was on a live this morning with the besties, and this is what she had to say.
I sent Ken a text message last night, and I was like, I thanked him for, being strong and, being by my side through this season of, not season of the show, but like season of my life where I feel like I'm going through a prolonged latent adolescent stage where it's like, yeah, I'm kind of immature, I clap back, I'm snarky, I'm sassy, I'm fiery. Well, I told him too. I was like, I sent him a long text. It was a long text. And, I bared my soul and I'm like, I have never had anyone to hold me accountable. My mother didn't do it. My mother was my biggest enabler. And so that being said, the people that I have around me, especially Ken don't put up with my bullshit. He will call me out. He will correct me. And I don't put up with his bullshit either. That's why we make a good pair, is because we don't we don't sugarcoat it. We don't spare each other's feelings. If we want us to grow as individuals, we will tell each other how it is. So I was like, I never had anyone to hold me accountable. And that is the type of mindset that I have. So if I have a lack of accountability for things, I am working on it. I am going to work on it in therapy. But I want you to know that, my heart is in this relationship. It always has been. And I thank you for holding me accountable for the things that I've done wrong. And I won't always be in this stage of my life. I will grow from this. And I think that we have a strong relationship, we have a strong foundation. We've weathered a lot of storms together. Like, the divorce process was not easy. Going through this stuff with Ryan was not easy. Um, we were together for 2 years while I was in prison. I got through my time, and then we got back together. Everything happened very fast. So, to Dreamer's point and Sheena's point, yeah, and Bree's point, it's a completely different relationship now. And I'm going to make mistakes. He's going to make mistakes. I wasn't sitting pretty looking pretty on this last episode. But remember the first episode? Everybody was hating on Ken for that Tana scene. Neither one of us are perfect, but there's room for growth.
Gypsy Rose is insufferable. She always has excuses, and these grown folks that are on that panel that continue to excuse her bullshit are just as pathetic as she is. Gypsy has been out of prison for about 17 months now, and she has lived two people's lives in those 17 months. She continues to villainize her mother Dee Dee for the fuck ups she continues to do till this day. And she says herself in this live that if she has a lack of accountability, she is working on it and will work on it in therapy. And I personally will not be holding my breath for Gypsy to work on anything, because she always says things when it's needed to be heard, and then it falls by the wayside. She wanted him to know that her heart is in their relationship and always has been, which is bullshit, because you have to have a heart and she doesn't. Gypsy, in my opinion, told Ken what she felt he needed to hear. And Gypsy has a habit of preying on men who have very, very low self-esteem. And knowing that Ken reached out to her while she was in prison lets me know quite a bit about him. Again, Ryan seems to be the bad guy. And trust me, after watching Monday's episode, I have zero hope for Ryan. He creeped me the fuck out. The way he spoke about wanting to snuggle up with her holding another man's baby. But also, who knows, she probably was telling him that Aurora should have been his, which is all just so fucked up. And she acknowledged to Ken how they were together for 2 years when she was in prison. And she states how she did her time, but failed to acknowledge how Ryan also helped her get through some of that time, while Ken was happily living his life with another woman. When is Gypsy going to start learning from her mistakes rather than keep insisting that they are going to be making mistakes and continuing to excuse the mistakes that they make? Gypsy is never going to change. In 5 weeks, when she is off parole, we are going to experience and witness the monster she acknowledges that she is. Ken did make a post today, which seems so weird. This is the post that he made. This is a weird post. Ken doesn't post much. So when he does decide to post, he makes a post of him giving Parker a pup cup from Starbucks. Is he trying to say that he'd rather spend time with his dog Parker than to spend time with Gypsy and Aurora? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you guys so much for taking the time out to watch this video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and the notification bell so you'll be notified each time I upload. Please let me know your thoughts about all of this. I have so much more to talk about. But in the meantime, please stay safe out there. Be kind to one another. And don't forget, make good memories. Bye, guys.